This video is proudly recorded and produced on OpenBSD. Recently, I get more questions about my OpenBSD setup, so I thought that to create this video, hopefully it helps people and clarify things. And also, I don't need to answer it again and again. So this is my OpenBSD setup. In terms of GUI or graphical user interface, whatever you want to call it, I use window manager, I use i3 gap plus Roofy. So if I want to search for an application, for example, I can press this is Roofy, and for the notification I use Dunst, and this is the baseline setup. And about the programs that I use Firefox as my main browser. I have Chromium installed, of course, but I use Firefox all the time, and I do my main task on Firefox. For the file manager, I use PCman FM, although I have, I think, another one, Ranger also, but PCman FM is very easy to use. I don't need to even remember any like a keyboard shortcut and stuff like that. For audio editing, I use Audacity. Same for the video editing, Kdenlive. I use Evince for viewing PDF files, Pinta and GIMP for picture image editing, Venueor for viewing the image, and also I install IntelliJ and PyCharm as my IDEs for coding Java and Python respectively. About the terminal setup, that's a bit more complicated, so let me actually zoom out a bit so it shows everything. Alright, so the terminal, I simply use bash. I don't like the KSH or whatever, that's the, I think it was KSH that OpenBSD comes with. And also for the terminal application, I use Alacrity or terminal emulator if I want to be 100% correct. And about the terminal programs, I use Tmux, and the bar that you are seeing here, this is Tmux, and this is the setup that I borrowed from my Tmux. It's a Git repository, so you can actually go and clone it. It's very easy to set up. For the file editing, most of the time in terminal I use Vim, and I have installed a bunch of plugins and stuff like that to make it look good. So I use Wandel as a plugin manager, Nerd3 for viewing the files as a file viewer within the team, within the Vim. Vim Airline is something that is a status bar. So if I want to show you quickly, this one that you see here, this is Vim Airline, and I use that plugin. And I use Jedi Vim, this one for the syntax check. It actually complies with any language, so it just, if there is a syntax problem in the code that you have written, it highlights it. I use Vim Markdown to edit, to view Markdown files, so it has a syntax highlighting as well. Vim Fugitive, this one is a very interesting one. This one adds the Git branch to the Vim Airline. So let me, for example, go to my dot files here, and then let's say open something. Let's say open the start here, and as you can see, there's a master branch here. Okay, and that is thanks to the Vim Fugitive. Then there is Vim Autoclose, this one for closing the bracket, parentheses, anything like that. And CLang Complete for auto completion of C and C++. I use Color LS to actually, when I do ls, to distinguish different file types and directories. CMixer to control the audio volume, So for example, CMixer here, this is a CMixer, so I can actually control the input and output, but one sound card at a time. Newsbot to read RSS feeds. FCF, I don't think I need to explain it anything about it. MDP for creating the presentation. This presentation is brought to you by MDP. MPV, playing audio as well as video files. For audio, I also have a music cube, but I do not use that very often. And this is, I would say, something about the audio players. I kind of switch to one, but then also don't use it because I found it difficult to remember all the shortcuts, and I get frustrated with it rather fast. But Music Cube doesn't have that many shortcuts to remember. It's very, I would say, intuitive. And also I use Pi Radio to listen to online radios. It's a fantastic tool. I use it very frequently. And FFmpeg for screen recording as well as live streaming. And I also have a bunch of other applications, but I don't use them on day-to-day basis. That's why I didn't put them here explicitly. And also I have another pipeline for applications that I experiment with, and if I change anything, I will just let you know. That's all for this video. I hope it was useful for you. Have a great time. Cheers.